welcome to tonight's entertainment.
Are you entertained yet?
Or do we have to pull a Joker off, Heath Ledger style? I believe that was the line out of Batman.
I never saw the Christopher Nolan Batman movies.
Not bad. Just the first two, though.
I do have Batman Returns on DVD. I just haven't watched it yet. I picked it up on sale at Circuit City closing.
Nice. That's probably my favorite Batman. I actually own the score of that on record.
Well, not
not the
Dark Knight. The Dark Knight. I mean, the second Nolan Batman.
Okay, because you said Batman Returns.
Oh, sorry. the second Nolan Batman. Dark Knight. Sorry.
Yeah, in high school, I tried to convince my music teacher to let us play the Batman theme or various parts out of Batman Returns. And she goes, well, I don't think anybody wants to play that. I was like, oh, you fucking cunt. I hate you.
Well, the year after I graduated, my high school band played a whole Star Wars show.
Well, at least
the year after I graduate.
They did play Star Wars in my school, but that was the brass band. They didn't do anything for strings. That was bullshit.
Yeah, that was my sister's junior year, I believe. So yeah, she got to play, but she's not really that big of a Star Wars fan.
That's funny. They let all the kids of today play those songs that we wanted to play in school, except they don't know what the fuck it's about.
Right? Was it Ohio State's marching band did a whole bunch of game stuff, including Tetris?
Yeah, I saw that. That was good. They even formed the pieces, I believe.
Yeah, of course. And then Ohio U, their marching band does The Fox. Go figure. Oh, one of the YouTube sites for educational videos I use, they have their own spoof of The Fox. What do the letters say?
Do any of them say STFU? I just think that what the Fox says is worse than dubstep. That's saying a lot. It would be good if they weren't making all the dumb noises in that song, especially the very first one. That's what got me off of it. It's like, yeah, it starts off good. And then... No, it's the ding 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 ding. That was it. When I heard that, I'm like, who the fuck wants to hear this?
Oh, then turned it into a children's book.
Of course they will, because they want to make as much money off of it as possible, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, I would too. I don't blame them. See, we have to come up with something stupid to make money off of. How about a nerd dating website? Shy, guess what? So is everybody else.
There probably
Actually, that doesn't sound like a bad idea.
There probably is. I should probably get on that.
As I said before, I don't know how hard it could be to get laid at one of these conventions. I really don't. Besides having self-esteem, that's probably the only thing you would need.
I mean, to tell you the truth, I haven't really tried, but I just don't know how to make a move.
And that's what you need me for, I see.
Have you met Harold?
Have you met Harold? He likes Rock Band too. All right. Let's just hope the chick that is winging is good. Otherwise, you're gonna force me to sleep with a chick I don't really like.
Got all my Skylanders in arm's reach.
Oh man.
I know, that's why I can't get laid.
There's gotta be people. Look, as I mentioned before, conventions are full of both nerd males and females. Otherwise, there would be circle jerks going on at these conventions. So I just don't believe it could be that difficult.
Yeah.
Unless they're all taken. Which
That's the thing. Oh, Pat says letters don't say anything. Letters spell. Well, they have their sounds. A, B, K, D.
Of course letters say something. That's why people write them so long.
Yeah.
Those kind of letters.
Letters? What's a letter? Is that like analog email?
Who the hell writes one of those anymore? Pfft. When was the last time you hand wrote anything? I mean, lengthily. You can't remember, can you?
No.
Me neither. I think that was my English exam in 2001 in college. That's the last thing I wrote. That was like 6 or 8 paragraphs.
Okay.
And my hands started to hurt after 5.
Are we ready to do this?
Yeah. Of course. What do I forget to load? SoundForge. This Google thing, or Google Hangouts, has really made me miss hitting the program to launch the program. All right, here we go. Starting in 3, 2, 1.
Come on! Come on!
Hi, and welcome to Cross Border Gaming, episode 168. I am Frank in finally warm Toronto, Canada.
And I'm Harold in always warm Southwest Florida.
Wearing his I Shoot Dicks shirt.
Ducks!
As I said, make sure it doesn't overlap so it just looks like an eye. They really should have designed that differently. But it does look cool, I will say that.
Yeah. Shirt.woot.com. All sorts of cool stuff like this.
Woot doesn't ship to Canada, so fuck you. Unless it's a t-shirt.
It's a t-shirt.
I still don't want to buy from them. They're biased. Anyways.
Okay, Frank. What have you been playing?
Well, it's been a while. I haven't.
It's been a while.
I haven't had the time because work took over and still does to a certain extent. But that is not the case today. I played some more Charlie Murder, which is always fun, as well as Foul Play. I'm still continuing to play through that. I found a 30 days Xbox Live Gold. Code in my GTA 4 game of all places. So I activated that, and guess what? It let me buy all the games and download the free games from Xbox Live. I really wish I would have used that when Bioshock Infinite was $10. But I didn't know. But I also played more World Series of Poker. I've been online, although most people who play online in that game are kind of douchey, meaning they go all in for no reason. Just so they can collect the rest of the pot. And for the first time ever, I decided to buy a Humble Bundle, or Humble Indie Bundle, rather, because Guacamelee was part of it, which I've always wanted to try, but, you know, at $5 plus that, plus a couple of other games, how the fuck can you go wrong?
Yeah.
So, I got it.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I like it quite a lot.
Scratched the surface of it, though. I have it on PS3 and Vita.
I like it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
The puzzle elements can... well, they're not getting frustrating yet, but from what I've seen is they will later on. But overall, it's not bad. I use it through Steam Big Screen, so I can play it on my television. And like I said, it's not bad. The controls are taking me a while to get used to, but one thing I will say is the more moves you unlock in the game, the cooler the game becomes. Also played some Tetris Splash. I creamed a couple of my friends in it, who are absolutely no match to me in that game, finishing off most people in under 1 minute and 14 seconds, and that is a double entendre. And I also played. I actually picked up Civ Rev last week for the 360 for like $10 or something like that, because I felt like playing a Civilization game on console, which I'd
It
never.
was free a couple months ago.
Yeah, a couple of months ago, I didn't have internet and I
Yeah.
didn't have gold, so.
Yeah. But yeah, Civ Rev, it's been a while.
It's been a while. How did I do that to you? Anyways,
I deserve it. But yeah, I mean, remember when I used to bring that up all the time?
yeah, and you played it across multiple platforms too.
Yeah.
I mean, I did play it on the
PS3, iOS. For a while, I had it on DS,
Yes, I remember that.
and then eventually 360.
It's not bad. Like I said,
Yeah.
simplified Civilization
Yeah.
without the workers or without having ships battle land units.
Yeah. I didn't put it on the outline for news, but what did you think of that Civ in Space announcement?
I mean, that's just what is that, a spiritual successor to Alpha Centauri, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I never dug that game. I did try it back in the day. I didn't like it that much. I can see the appeal behind it, but it's not for me.
Oh, I mean, they're branding it Civ, and they're kind of using the Civ 5 hex-based system.
Yeah, I'd rather get Civ 6.
Yeah.
Although it would just pretty much be the same game again.
Okay.
Don't play it.
And you said Deadlight. I take it you picked that up for free?
Yeah, I did. It is a zombie Prince of Persia, or zombie. What is it? Blackthorn. Actually, a zombie Blackthorn would probably be the best way to summarize it, because it's got similar controls to Blackthorn, with the exception of the melee combat. It's okay, but I played about an hour or so of it, and I'm not really inclined to play more. It's just, I don't know. It's really bland. Doesn't really have any survival horror elements that most zombie games have, and it's not poking humor at anything, as well as the story is confusing as fuck right from the beginning. So I don't know. I can't really recommend it. Is it worth your bandwidth? Maybe for like 5 minutes of gameplay. Otherwise, I can't recommend it. It's not that good.
So not worth the free?
It's not worth the free unless you're really into those kind of games. Then you should get it. But like I said, if you're a big Blackthorn or Prince of Persia fan and you like that kind of gameplay, then that's for you. As well as there's some puzzle elements in it as well. In order to kill the most zombies without getting killed by dropping something on them or blocking them off or whatnot, or getting them electrocuted or whatnot. And finally, I picked up a what is it, Xbox Live indie game, Bitcoin Tycoon, which is pretty much like most time waster games. I mean, you create shit, you collect money off of it, you hover your your pointer over it, you collect the money, and that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much like any other game you would play, like the Simpsons one or the Family Guy one, where you're just doing nothing and just collecting.
Yeah.
Mega Mall, all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Okay. Let's see. Played some more Rock Band 3 and Blitz with my new guitar and some DLC I got from the fine folks at Harmonix. The guitar, Beatles Rock Band, McCartney Hofner bass.
Hey, for free, that ain't bad.
Yeah. Well, for the $20 it cost to get into the event. And I had got $10 worth of DLC at their panel. So I spent it all on Rock Band Network stuff. Some Main Drag, some Bang Camaro, Mafia Tracksuit, I had one song from the picked up one song from the VVVVVV soundtrack. Or
Is it called Motorboating a Flat-Chested Woman?
it's called Tony Motorboating Alex. Never forget!
I'll never forget his face. I'll never forget his face during that broadcast. He was so confused. Almost like he was touched by a priest. What else?
Hold on, I'm writing into the reject the writing titles. Touched by a priest.
Oh man.
Okay. Where was I?
Yeah, you were mentioning
Bunch
that.
of retro games.
Okay.
I picked some up at PAX East. I picked some up via eBay. One I had and just hadn't gotten a chance to play. About NES, Contra. Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, Estianics, Super Mario Brothers, Top Gun Second Mission. That was all in one lot from eBay, along with actually two copies of the Super Mario Duck Hunt cartridge, and Dragon Warrior, which I didn't get into it. I just turned it on to see if it worked.
How many times have you finished that game?
What, Dragon Warrior?
Yeah.
Tell you the truth, I don't think I have actually finished it myself. I guess maybe the Game Boy version I did. The Game Boy Color version. Now, my dad finished... I remember my dad finishing it back in the day.
Oh, so your dad
That was his jam.
So your dad was one of those people that just kind of took the NES for themselves after you guys went to bed?
For a while, yes.
There you go.
Genesis. At PAX East, I picked up Mortal Kombat, Super Monaco GP, and Buster Douglas Boxing. I also dusted off Eternal Champions, which I think that was last year I picked that up, and Aladdin, which I found on eBay. I actually had to hook up my Genesis because Aladdin wouldn't play on my Retron 3. And I had the same problem previously with Eternal Champions, so I tried the both. Aladdin's all right. I didn't play enough for me to make a definitive Genesis versus SNES opinion, but it's not a bad game once I got it to work. And on Game Boy, I also a PAX East pickup, Space Invaders, which I played on Super Game Boy. And if you play Game Boy Space Invaders on Super Game Boy, there's a SNES version inside. So I was playing that.
Nice.
And PS2 just arrived today, Frequency. Because harmonics. Amplitude is on the way.
Did Harmonix give you a blowjob or a hooker or something like that when you were over there? Hand job at least? Because after advertising their products for so long and essentially putting some of their kids through college, they should be giving you something more. Something memorable. Unless, of course, you're drunk beforehand.
Okay, and pretty much, where's my fucking Retron 5?
More on that later.
More on that later. Also, Conception 2 on 3DS.
No, what's that about?
I think we did a news story about it a while back. It's a part dungeon crawler, part dating sim. You're this teenage kid and you have this special brand which allows you to fight monsters, and you have a power so high you're declared God's gift, and you have to classmate with all these different heroines. to make star children to go to dungeons with.
That sounds like something that was conceived from heroin. But it sounds just weird enough for me to try it.
Yeah, I was gonna say demos are available on 3DS eShop and PSN for Vita, but you have neither.
Nope.
Oh.
Not going.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, this whole thing was crazy enough for me to try it, and I played the demos and I liked it, so I pre-ordered it. I picked it up. The version I got, yes, I rare physical pickup for this one, and it came with a soundtrack. Phil on his YouTube actually unboxed the Vita version, which also came with a soundtrack. And of course I went to PAX. Of course I did a whole podcast about that. So if you want to hear more about my trip to PAX East, H-Bob and Friends.
Wicked.
Mm-hmm. Unless you have any specific questions.
Yes, what the chicks look like over there?
Like chicks just about anywhere else. Only some of them were in cosplay.
Nice.
Speaking of cosplay, one guy, I was wearing my Rock Band t-shirt, and he said I was cosplaying as Rock Band.
What? How did the guy pull that off?
Well, he said I was cosplaying as Rock Band. So he was probably drunk or something, or high, I don't know. But it was pretty early in the day. It was like noonish maybe, so who knows what he was on.
And Pat says, I still have to handwrite tickets.
Yeah. Okay, so are we ready to move on?
Yep.
Moving on to News of the Universe. And we're going to open the news with a new segment called Shit That Probably Only Harold is Excited About. Skylanders Trap Team coming out in October. More of these babies!
So now, what makes this one different? I know it's using a new what is it?
New portal, new type of Skylander called Trap Hunters, and there's actually characters, villains that you can trap and then have work for you.
Well, that's cool.
And I even read on one of the sites that you can even capture Chaos, the main villain.
Really?
That's probably at the end of the game, though, so who knows? Unless there's like a bigger villain that he unleashed.
I like the way the portal looks. It actually looks nice.
Yeah. This was announced at PAX East. Record Run, a new iOS music-generated rhythm platformer by Harmonix.
This just in, Harold's gonna buy the next iPhone.
I already have an iPhone.
Well, they don't last forever, you know.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to hold out until they announce the 6 or whatever the next one is.
Yeah, that will probably be at the end of July.
No, that's probably when they'll announce iOS 8. The next iPhone will probably be more like fall.
Well, they're always released around the same time.
No, not for the past couple of years. Well, at least not announced together. Usually last few years they've been just using WWDC to announce the new iOS, and they announce the hardware at a later date.
All right.
But anyway, back to Record Run. Music generated rhythm platform, and you can actually use your own music to create levels. This was announced by Alex Rogopoulos during his PAX East keynote, and later showed by John Drake during the Harmonix panel. And this is planned for a May release, and it's actually going to be an early release in Australia and Canada, I believe, to essentially get the bugs out in a smaller setting. So you actually get a chance to play it before I do. Unless I download it on my Australian iTunes account.
I don't think I'll.
Plants vs. Zombies 2, that's why, in case you were asking.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna go ahead and get this. Well, I like the idea.
Pat asks, what's on my shirt? I shoot ducks. Shirt.woot.com.
Stop shilling! They're not giving us money.
Okay. Kurt Schilling, so you want me to make a crappy RPG?
Yep.
Anyway, but yeah, a rhythm platformer. I believe I called that one.
Well, at least it's different than Rock Band.
It's different than Rock Band, and I'm excited about it. I actually got to play a little bit on Eric Pope's iPhone after the Harmonix panel.
Nice.
Yeah, not bad.
And then he gave you a hand job.
No. Also, at the keynote, Harmonix reaffirmed that Rock Band 4 and Dance Central 4 are not in active development, but they have quote-unquote grand plans to bring the franchises back, quote-unquote, during the console cycle.
Didn't I say that?
Yeah.
Yeah, they would bring it out much later in the console.
Yeah.
People have forgotten about Plastic Instruments.
Yeah. So, new Plastic Instruments coming in 2017.
I'd say 2018. Harold, are you really going to play that game with Plastic Instruments when you're 40?
Yes.
Oh, God.
Actually, 40, that would be 2019.
Oh, okay.
Also, Picross E4 coming to the North American eShop in May. Another reason to be excited about May.
Not because...
Run, Picross E4... Mario Kart at the end of the month. Okay, moving on. PAX South coming to San Antonio, January 23rd through 25th.
Would you be able to make that? I don't think so.
I mean, technically, I could take off the same amount of time I took off for PAX East this past year, and that I essentially take Friday off, fly out after work on Thursday, fly back Sunday. I could do that. However, I priced plane tickets.
And?
Well, nobody flies Fort Myers to San Antonio. So I got a layover in like Dallas, and it costs twice as much than it does to just fly.
Yeah, because that's high season, isn't it?
I guess, but anyway, it's cheaper unless hotels are like significantly cheaper in San Antonio than they are in Boston for some reason, which I doubt. Maybe cheaper, probably not significantly cheaper.
I don't.
So I'll probably just stick with East.
At
least for the next couple years. Next year.
I don't think hotels will be cheaper. That's like the Silicon Valley South.
Yeah.
Right now, I really, really highly doubt that it would be cheaper.
And they probably don't have the infrastructure of public transportation that Boston has. I mean, my entire weekend transportation cost at PAX East was $7.50.
Well, again, but it is a growing city, so...
Yeah. And this coming out of the Midwest Gaming Classic, as of April 12th, Retron 5 coming in, quote-unquote, the next 30 days. So if it's not out by May 12th, we riot.
No, we won't. We're just going to wait longer. That's what we're going to do. They also announced the Retron X86, which supposedly looks like a Commodore 64.
Yeah, it
that runs on
plays retro DOS games.
So you can load, and it upscales them to 1080p.
Yeah.
Can you imagine playing Wolfenstein 3D?
So, and they're saying this fall on that, so probably fall
Next
of 2016.
Yeah, probably. Although I am interested. I would like to play Doom in 1080p.
Yeah. Scott Bromley follows the footsteps of Adam Sessler and Anthony Carboni and leaves Rev 3 Games. Why is everybody leaving? Is Rev 3 Games a sinking ship?
Or do they micromanage them to death?
Yeah. Well, if all their talent's leaving, then it must be. But, who knows? It could be like when the McElroy brothers, Chris Grant and Arthur Gies, all announced their departure from Joystick on the same day. They wound up They wound up being part of the launch team of what became Polygon. So I'm not saying that those three are on the ground floor or something, but it wouldn't surprise me either. But probably not. I think Sessler was like going into consulting or something.
Maybe they all just want to do something else.
Yeah.
That's also possible.
Yeah. Sony selling off its 8.2% share of Square Enix.
Well, what have they done lately?
Well,
Hitman.
Then again, Sony could very well just be hurting for money.
Really? I thought PS4 sales were good.
I'm talking about the company as a whole.
I still see their TV selling like hotcakes.
Not so much.
Up here they are. They're pretty well priced too. But their smart TVs ain't the best ones.
Yeah.
I would say that.
GameStop closing 120 stores, and they have eyes set on mobile. They gotta find. They gotta find the next thing because. Hello?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yes, I know you're still here. Who's this other guy?
Oh, I'm just a random guy.
Okay.
I just come bursting in on random hangout.
Oh. Okay. Well, we'll see you later.
How the fuck is this public?
Yeah. Well, we had that happen at the tail end of H&F 16, the 16-bit episode. I think after we stopped actually recording.
Oh yeah, I recall now.
But where were we? PlayStation Plus May games. These are freebies. PlayStation 4. Both North America and Europe are getting Stick It to the Man.
What? Are they really gonna stick it to the man?
PlayStation 3. North America and Europe are both getting Puppeteer. North America is also getting Pro Evolution Soccer 2014 and Skullgirls Encore. Europe is getting Payday 2. And for Vita, North America is getting Surge Deluxe and Limbo. Europe's getting Muramasa Rebirth and Hot Shots Golf World Invitational. And finally, stupid shit Nintendo does. Another new section.
And Nintendo passes on Skylanders, Spyro's Adventure exclusivity.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe that could have changed things if they were the only home for Skylanders. Or then again, maybe Skylanders wouldn't have taken off nearly as much because they would have been only on Nintendo.
Again, we've discussed this many, many, many times before. And Nintendo is only interested in stuff that they produce and nothing else. their statement about being committed to third party is horseshit.
Yeah.
They're not
And
committed.
it's gonna kill him. It's gonna kill him.
I don't think Nintendo will never get killed as long as they keep making handheld systems. Nintendo will never die. They will never die.
I think Nintendo needs to get their heads out of their asses.
You know what? As long as people keep paying for 25-year-old ROMs and paying like $5 to $10 for them, they will remain alive. Trust me.
Yeah. But did you see that article? Did you see who wrote that article?
Yeah, I know. It's Evan Campbell.
Evan Campbell, former guest of the show. I don't know whether I'm surprised that we got someone who's actually been on the show that's now writing stuff for IGN, or am I surprised that it's not Alex O'Neill? He'll be there eventually.
Eventually. Why,
He'll be running that place eventually.
How hard could it be?
Yeah.
It's IGN. Alrighty. That brings us to the end of the news here.
Yeah. We never did get a winner in our greatest title bracket.
No, because we said we were going to continue the following week and we got no feedback.
We got no feedback. So the two we wound up, we narrowed it down to Hug Buttons, Penis Pumps, and Other Regrets of Bobby Cokehead, which was the #1 seed out of the Rock Band bracket, beating out episode 125, Measure Yourself, episode 109, Osteoporosis, The Old Republic, episode 32, I own a piece of the moon, it's in my pants, episode 82, Maybe Larry has been smoking some herb, and in the semifinals, episode 87, Was She Good and How Much? Whereas Sex with Friends by Zynga came out of the Rushing Beat bracket, beating out episode 86 with a touch of awkward, episode 146 Auto Erect, episode 161 They Use Condoms in Italy. And, of course, the #1 seed in that bracket, it doesn't say Queen, so it fails. And then in the semifinals, it went to beat out episode 83, Debbie Deutschland Does Dusseldorf.
Dusseldorf.
Yeah, that's what I said. I don't know. Since nobody has actually said anything, I think my pick is Hug Buttons, Penis Pumps, and Other Regrets of Bobby Cokehead.
I'm going to go with Sex with Friends.
Okay, so we are at an impasse here. Pat, anybody? Random kid?
Nobody. Fuck. Well, I guess we're going to have to rock, paper, scissors it or leave it for next week.
I concede. We'll go with Sex with Friends.
Nice. And that concludes the bracket.
And if you don't like it, tough. We gave you a chance and you didn't take it. So the greatest title in CBG history is Sex with Friends by Zynga.
Hey, Zynga, get on that.
Hey, Matrick!
Hey, Matrick, fucking make it happen, you wet towel.
Oh, I did see an article today. Mark Pincus stepped down from whatever role he was, taking a smaller role with the company.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I guess that's all we have?
Yep, that's about it, man.
Oh. Okay, I think we have a recount. Pat just tweeted Bobby Cokehead. So
I hope you fail your next drug test, Pat.
So the winner is Hug Buttons, Penis Pumps, and Other Regrets of Bobby Cokehead.
Fuck. I still like Sex with Friends better.
You know, that's a good one, too, and that deserved to be in the finals. We've come up with some crazy episodes.
Yeah, more so now than before.
Yeah, I don't know. We're not coming out with nearly as many, but we're coming out with crazier ones. Quality over quantity.
Yes.
Okay, so are we ready to wrap this up? Oh, random words of randomness. Do you have anything to say?
Yes. Retro Function's gonna be live on Saturday.
Doing what?
Show.
Oh, really? I'll believe that when I see it.
Nope, Vic's coming here at 10 in the morning.
I'll believe that when I see it.
No, it's prearranged.
Still.
It's definitely gonna happen. There'll be vapor bags and whatnot. It'll be fun.
I mean,
I'm
still surprised that we're doing a show tonight.
Well, I have to stay late tonight, so yeah, it's possible.
But anyway, yeah. So you're gonna post that up on Twitter. I'll make sure that we forward that on.
Yep.
Yeah. And I guess all I have to say for Random Words of Randomness is... I forgot. I got to try a Retron 5. Or I didn't try it. I saw it.
Oh, so it's not vaporware. It's
not vaporware. It's not the it wasn't the retail version, but they had Zombies Ate My Neighbors running, and it looked pretty good.
Fucking A. So you can verify it is real.
I have seen one, yes.
I remember at the...
It's not Bigfoot.
I remember at the Midwest presentation, the marketing guy just over and over kept saying, "It's not vaporware, it's real. I played it yesterday, it's real." He kept just saying, "It's not vaporware." Hyperkin should bring out T-shirts that say, "It's not vaporware." I totally buy one of those. All right, housekeeping.
Housekeeping. CrossborderGaming.com, thatgamerhub.com/crossbordergaming, Stitcher, iTunes, emails, HBomb, eMaster, feedback, all at crossbordergaming.com, Facebook.com/CBG podcast, YouTube.com/crossbordergaming, voicemail, yes, we still have that, 747-CBG-POD5, that is 747-224-7635, Twitter's USFHBomb, eMaster1980, CBG podcast, HBomb and friends, Retro Function, Audiobooze, audioboo.fm/hbomb or emaster. Frank's been doing quite a bit. I, not so much.
Well, I haven't been doing quite a bit, but definitely more than you.
Yeah. Friend and podcast shoutouts, HBomb and friends, Retro Function, That Gamer Hub, Fantastic Neighborhood, Retro Nick Radio, who I believe are just dropping down to monthly shows. Game Enthuse, Rational Passions, Great Geek Debate, which they pulled a cross-border gaming. They said they were calling it quits, and then they're bringing it back.
Well, we did.
And it didn't take them 6 months.
Well, that's good. The less of a hiatus, the better.
Yeah. DMGIce.com, radio, DMG.com, animationisart.com. ReclamationBrewing.com. They have an Indiegogo going.
Oh shit! I still gotta get on that.
Yeah.
I want one of those glasses.
Yeah. Speaking of Indiegogos, not only did I pledge for them, also Geek and Sundry launched one for the new season of Tabletop, and they have already reached their goal and have approached are approaching their first stretch goal.
Nice.
So yeah, of course, I love me some Tabletop, so I had to back that. Getting it on DVDs, I'm getting a whole bunch of stuff for backing that. Because the show's awesome. Will Wheaton is awesome. Regardless of what Joel says.
Joel is right.
Joel also said he wanted to set Greg Miller on fire.
He said a lot of crazy shit. On the other hand, if you've seen his profile picture lately on Twitter, it suits him perfectly. He looks like a madman.
Yeah, that's our Joel.
That is our Joel, and we wouldn't have him any other way. Oh, and SMDL2 has messaged us after a long time, saying, "Man, I wish I didn't work during the show. I'm still a loyal listener, Dolo, and we still love you too."
Yeah. And of course, next show, hopefully next Thursday at 8.
Hopefully, unless I get raped at work
Yeah.
or molested by a priest.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I don't go to church. I'm not gonna get molested.
Yeah.
Anyways,
And if that changes, stay tuned. Twitter and Facebook, we will post.
exactly.
So thank you, Frank.
Thank you, Harold.
And everything is fine. You may go now.
Toodles. End scene.